Hello, and welcome to Season 4 of the Soundstage Audiophile Podcast. For the past few years, host Jorden Guth has been learning about the who, the what, and the when of hi-fi from the pioneers who made our hobby what it is today, as well as the modern innovators who are constantly striving to push performance to new levels. That's not going to change, but this year he'll also be learning about the other two W's, where your favorite gear is made these days, and why. So with that out of the way, let's see who Jorden is chatting with this time around.
Hello and welcome to the Soundstage Audiophile Podcast. Today we're with Sigve Håland, one of the founders and CEO of Tea Time Vinyl Plant in Stavanger, Norway. Welcome.
Thank you.
So this is a really cool spot, and I really want to talk about the building and kind of what you're doing here. But before we get into that stuff, I think what's kind of interesting for people to hear about is how did you get into vinyl and records and music and all that? Like, what's your origin story to kind of lead you down the path where you are today making vinyl for folks?
Yeah, from back in the days, we were playing records. So my first music experience was with records. Of course, then the CD came and took a bit over, but I have always been very fond of records and collecting records. And I really love the format. And you know, something just happens sometimes. And we were in this band with Jons Guth, which is the frontman of Kaiser's Orchestra. And I was driving his car with the equipment and stuff and the merch. So that was in 2017. And then we were at the Malakoff Festival in Nordfjordeid in Norway. And they were sitting up a bit late. Børge Fjordheim was the drummer. And you know, when they found out, they wanted to start a pressing plant. And when they told me the next day that they had come up with this good idea, they said, Sigve, we are going to make a vinyl plant. And you know what's the most interesting about this? And I said, yeah, that's probably that I have to do it. Yes, you're totally correct. You have to do it because we want to play music and we want to travel and we have other stuff to do. And
so you're the one.
Yeah, you're the one. So why don't you do it? And I said, yeah, if we get it up and running, sure thing. I have a background for machines. I have been running machines in printing for like 20 years. So my machine background is good. And I love vinyls, and I have this audiophile approach as well. So it was more like a perfect job.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And you said that was around 2017?
Yes, 2017. And we were working with this idea for a pretty long time. So it took almost 2 years before we had ordered the machines and everything. But what kept us going from there's a long way from the idea to actually doing the stuff. So, but we noticed that when we told the idea to other people, it was like it gave more energy to the idea all the time. And at some point we felt that we shouldn't just talk about it. We needed to do it or let it go.
Yeah.
And then it was like we told the people here at the Tau that we were going to do it. And they said, that fits perfectly in our profiling. So come to us. We will make room for you at the Tau. And here we are now.
Is there like a precedent in Norway? Like, is there another vinyl pressing plant, for instance, that's around here that you kind of got inspiration from? Like, how did you know that this was actually going to work when you started it? Or it was pure faith?
Yeah, but we were kind of just trying. You know, we didn't have any idea about how much work it would be, how hard it really is to press records. We didn't know. If we had knew, I don't know if I would have done it. But there was one plant not so far from here.
Okay.
That got the idea exactly at the same time. So we both started, but they were 1 year ahead of us.
Okay.
So they were more quick about doing
putting the idea into practice.
Yes.
And okay, so I find that in and of itself is absolutely fascinating because you just kind of had that blind faith. When you're talking about the space, so describe the space for us right now and maybe what it was and into what it's become.
This has been here for, I don't know how long, 100 years or 150 years or so. It's the old brewery in the town. It's a big factory. It's got a big chimney on top, and it's red bricks all over the place. And it's a place. It's like a culture facility.
Culture center.
Yeah. So there are artists here, painters, all kind of artists, and music studios, and there are venues for concerts and all kinds of stuff.
So did it just happen a time out when you were kind of working with your co-founders and thinking about opening up this vinyl plant? Did it time out that this place had already been renovated, or was it in renovations?
When we moved in here, there was like old facilities. It was like band practice area.
Gotcha.
So it's full of old beer cans and flies and old carpets with I don't know what in it. So yeah, and then we had to renovate the whole place, do the infrastructure, paint. We get the electricity in order because these machines needs a lot of electricity, which there wasn't from before. So we had to do that, and also the piping for cooling water, and also for the steam. So it was a pretty big project.
So you finally decide we're going to open this plant. We have this perfect building, and maybe. So I can set the vibe a little bit here. You kind of already mentioned it's this old factory that seems like from the outside, it looks like it has quite a bit of love put into it to kind of bring it up to some modern specifications and stuff. You walk into your facility and it's clean. Like the floors are clean. Everything's clean. There's like a vibe to it. There's different artists' artwork on the wall. There's vinyl everywhere. It's really cool, but you had to do all of that from scratch. So, and actually, maybe we should talk about where we're actually sitting now, because this is another entire, this could be an entire chapter on your history.
It is.
We are actually sitting in what kind of has the vibe of a speakeasy from England. Maybe we're in these amazing bar stools with this beautiful like warm light on us with these big open windows, and we're in an actual bar, like a functional bar.
Yeah.
So maybe tell me a little bit about that aspect of Tea Time.
Yeah. When we got the idea, we saw pretty clearly what we were going to do. We were going to have a vinyl pressing plant. We were going to have a listening room with Elektrokompaniet stereo, and we wanted to build the room, the listening room, with records from the roof down to the floor. And we wanted a bar, a wine bar. And we did all of those things when we started, and put much effort and work into it to try to get it as good as possible, and also get a little bit of vinyl vibe.
Yeah.
You can see this lamp here. That is over our table. That is from an old gramophone.
Oh, I knew I recognized the pattern and the shape. That's so cool.
That's the, I don't know what we call it, horn or whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, but when we are going to start up this bar, it was just before the COVID. So we missed with 10 days.
No.
Yes. So that was awful. So all the effort and all the money we put into it, it was just gone in
overnight.
Yeah. So yeah.
And by that point, was the vinyl processing already kind of up and running, where you're already getting kind of money flowing in from the vinyl side of things?
Yes. We were going. That was a good time for the records industry as well, because there was little machine on the markets, and there was a big demand. But now it's pretty much the opposite. Lots of the demand is the same, but there's many more machines now than there was like 5 years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
so that has been kind of upside down now, but still we had a good production, but the bar didn't go too well, so we had to let the bar go.
Okay, so the bar is not technically part of Tea Time anymore.
No, it's part of Tau, the whole building. They used it as a reception and also as a bar at night.
Ah, there you go. All right, so when I'm thinking about vinyl, one, I actually don't have like a perception in my mind of where vinyl gets pressed and all of that. I know there's quite a lot in North America. The Soundstage crew has gone to the pressing plants in Toronto. There's also some in the Czech Republic.
Yeah.
Why was it important for you to bring the production of vinyl to Norway?
It's because local products are very important, and also when you can control the production, because I'm not so fond of records from Czechia, because I don't think they sound as good as they should. So it was more like trying to get into the quality of the pressing. So it was pretty ballsy. But I think now we have succeeded. We press extremely good records. We were at the Hi-Fi show in Munich this year.
Oh, you went to Munich?
Yeah, and delivered all the records for that event.
No way.
Yeah, we did the records for Annette Askvik, all those special editions for this event. So now we have gone in that direction where the high fidelity has been kind of where we want to go. But we also press for everyone. If it's a punk rock band that want 100 copies, they are happily welcome to come into us, because not too many pressing plants do hundreds. So we want to, we are in it for the passion. So we want to give records to everyone that wants records, and we want to give them good sounding records, because there's so much on the markets that has too much noise on it and has too little love in it.
And when it comes to actually manufacturing the records, obviously there is quite a bit of machinery involved. And you were mentioning that a little bit. When you started up, you had to figure out the electricity, you had to figure out the plumbing. And I heard there's some really cool, which is a pun, way that you actually cool the machines via the water. But the machinery itself, where did that come from?
The machinery itself comes from Canada. It's made in Toronto at Viral Tech Industries. I have been to their factory. That was my first interaction with pressing records. I went over there and they showed us more or less how the machine works. But it's a long way from seeing it to operating a machine. So we bought one machine from Viral Tech, started up with one, special one, and we had this for like 2 years or so, and then the other company that is also based not so far from here, they didn't go too well, so we bought their machine when they went back to Ropsy.
And it was the same machine, or it appears to be the same machine.
Yeah, it's the same machine. That one is 1 year older, so it doesn't have the same hydraulic system, but it's almost the same.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And Lassie from Electro Company, it was kind of giving me some inside scoop on the cooling of these machines. So for those that don't know, for vinyl, you need to have quite a lot of heat, quite a lot of pressure, and then you also need the flip side of that, which is cooling, to make sure that it can actually cool down and continue to operate. So how does the cooling work in this setup?
Yeah, we have like a closed loop with water that goes around and around and goes down after the machine. It gets heated up in the machine because of it is going to cool the warm molds, and it goes down to the basement, and then it goes get cooled by seawater from the fjord. So it's I don't know anyone in the world that does that except from a tea time vinyl plant. So it's extremely environment friendly solution for the cooling, because we were wondering about, when we started up, a cooling tower, which almost every plant use.
Yeah.
But then somebody told me that there is a system in the house for regional water or that is a cooling process. So, and then we developed that together with Lyse, which has this cooling water project.
So was that cooling system already in place for the brewery that was here before, and then you adapted it, or was this?
We adapted the cooling water until what it's now. But this is for warming and cooling the building. So it hasn't been here forever. It's like
gotcha. It's a newer process.
It's a newer process that they had when they moved into this, and they rebuilt everything. And this was the last 10 years have been really big constructions going on in this building.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
All right. For those that might not know, can you walk me through a little bit about how a record goes from vinyl pellets all the way through to what they actually are putting on their player?
Yeah. If you have put the pellets in the hopper of the machine, and then it goes through extruder. And the extruder has heating elements in it. So it will heat up the plastic to about 160 degrees Celsius. And while it's doing that, it has a screw inside, so it's pressing the plastic towards the end of the extruder. In the end of the extruder, there's a cup, and it fills the cup with plastic. And when it's full, then it opens, and then you have what we call a puck, which you're kind of familiar with in Canada, since you're playing hockey.
Yeah, exactly.
So it looks like a hockey puck. And then it goes into the machine together with labels, one on top and one on bottom, side A, side B.
Yeah.
It goes into the press, and then the hydraulic starts and press. And while it's pressing, it's adding heat through the molds, and that is steam coming up from the basement. It's like 170 degrees Celsius going through the machine while it's pressing. And when it's pressed more or less like we want it, then we add cooling water. So then it cools down the record, so we can take it out of the machine without it bends or anything. So it's pretty flat, so it's kind of okay to take out of the machine. And then it goes to a plate, because there's too much plastic on the sides. So it goes to a trimming plate, and a knife comes down, and the record rotates, and it cuts off all the unnecessary plastic, and then it stacks it. And then it has to stay on a stack for like 24 hours or so until it's totally flat and cooled down, so it won't bend or misshape.
Gotcha. And that's what we were seeing. And for those, we have a Y vinyl episode that should be released in, I don't know exactly when, but should be released in the next little bit. That kind of shows a lot of this. But that would be the I'm seeing the records, and then a piece of metal, and then records, and then a piece of metal, and they're all kind of stacked on top of one another, and then there's a bunch of weight on top of that to kind of really push it down and make sure it's completely flat.
Yeah, the plates are aluminum cooling plates. They have two things they do with the records. They cool them down, and also helps to flatten them out if there are any
if there's any sway or kind of lips that curl up or anything like that.
Yes.
And then after that, I did get to film with one of the gentlemen here that was doing the inspection. So the quality control elements of that, can you kind of walk me through a little bit about how that works?
Yeah, after Gavin is pressing records, me also. But when he is pressing records, he is listening to the records when he's pressing. So he take one to the listening room and he listen and gets an idea where he is sound-wise. And after that, when he is, if the settings are the same, he just press and inspect them closely under a lamp, just visually, because most of the things that can go wrong is visually. You can't see them. And then maybe 50 records later, he will listen to another record and just to make sure that it's the same.
Gotcha.
And then all the records goes to Snorre's table, which is our main quality checker. And he does the same once more. So he goes through under his light and see if there are anything wrong with the records. It could be non-fill, like the grooves are not filled all over the place, or it could be stitching, which happens when it sticks to the machine a little bit, and then some of the groove could break. It's very hard to see. Yeah. But we call him Hawkeye. He sees everything. So he sometimes tells us we need to press more records because this is not good enough, and we haven't even seen it. So he is our main man in quality checking. Yes.
And when I was talking to him, he was kind of telling me that typically when you do a pressing for any artist, you overproduce the amount that you have, knowing that some of them just won't pass the quality control.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, there's always something. These are machines, and the difference between Tea Time and many other plants is that we are checking every single record 2 times. Yeah. And a big factory doesn't do that. They maybe check 1 in 500 or 1 in 200 or so. So again, the quality is very important for us, and we are selling quality. So we need to do this, because we can't compete with the big ones on prices, but we can, of course, make better record than the others. And we are doing that at the moment.
And then for those that are also kind of thinking about the environmental aspect of this and what happens to all the rejected records. Mm-hmm. So with the vinyl that doesn't pass QC, it has a fingerprint on it, or there's stitching, or there's something wrong that just doesn't live up to the quality that you are holding onto. What do you do with those records?
Those records are putting into this machine, and we regrind it. So we use it one more time. So we don't throw away anything. We punch out the mid holes, and earlier we used them here in the bar as coasters for the wine and beer.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so that's possible. We can also give them to our customers if they want them. But there's not too many on each, because when we start the machine, we don't do labels. We do without labels. So then we can just put the records into the machine and regrind everything. And also all the flash that has been cut off the records is going directly into the machine.
That's the stuff outside of the mold that you wouldn't need in a record.
Yes, that's true. So all this we can press records. We can add them. We can add to the virgin vinyl, which is not used before. We can have like 20 or 30% or whatever, or we can do 100% regrind record. It sounds just as good as any other record, but then we need to lean on Snorre with his Hawkeye, because there will be more
potential to have issues.
Yes, that's true.
And it, like, to set the scene for folks, he took me to this like back room, and all you see is bins on one side and then bags of different color pellets on the other side. And each of these bins has like a label for a color on it. And you open up these bins and you have the post grind material. and then there's different vinyl stacked in different colors. And it sounds like depending on what is actually getting made at what point in time, you may need to kind of grind up more of a specific color to then mix it in to kind of get the blend that you're after. So literally everything seems to be getting used. And I should mention that machine that cuts out the hole is basically a gunshot every single time.
Yeah, it is. We are only allowed to use that in the morning between 8 and 9, and the afternoon after 4 o'clock.
Once everyone else has left the building.
The artists or the painters, they don't like it too much. So they just listen to this click going on because you can hear it all over the building. So it's
quite loud.
It's loud.
So once you press the record, it passes QC and all of that, box it up, ship it to customers. Can you kind of share about maybe some of the interesting customers that you've had, either by location or just you see them come through and you're like, this is a cool kind of band or a cool singer or a cool artist that you had the pleasure of pressing their records for?
Yeah, well, now we have had so many different, and almost everyone is Norwegian based, but we have some from abroad. And we've pressed Daniel Lanois records from Canada. Nice. Yeah, and that was maybe the weirdest experience I have had because I didn't see that coming. Because he's kind of an idol because Oh Mercy with Bob Dylan is one of my favorite albums. It sounds crazy good, and suddenly he was asking for records, and we did a test press, and we were told that the test press was going to Germany, and I was really hoping that he could get it so he could hear what we were doing. Yeah, and Germany just passed it through to Daniel Lanois. Yeah, so he got it from. I think he's living in LA or something at the moment. Yeah, so he played it, and he gave feedback to Germany that was one of the best test pressing he have ever had.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's high praise.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, and then you go and think, is this good enough? Because this is one of the most important people that you can press a record for. And he said, yeah, that's the best. And afterwards, we have repressed 4 of his album.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, yes.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah,
so that's almost worth all the struggle. So, yeah, that was cool.
So, and I just kind of, it's neat to think, probably about 10 years ago, you started thinking about this idea, and now you're here.
Yeah.
And you mentioned it, the struggle to kind of get it up and running and to get it going. But you have some incredible customers, and the QC and the actual process is absolutely phenomenal. Where do you see Tea Time going over the next 10 years?
That's a tough one. We need to educate musicians if we are going to continue, because the pricing versus the quality is a challenge for us, because we do very good records, and there are demands in the world for these kind of records, but people don't know the difference between good and not so good records. So I have example for bands that use like maybe 100,000 euros or maybe 200,000 euros to get the music where they want, and the mastering and the mixing and everything. Yeah. And when it comes to record, they'd like to save some grants, and then they go to the cheapest place. Yeah. And they don't care, and they don't have the solutions that we have, because we are working with the best. we are working. We have the best cutter versus price.
Yeah.
We have the best stampers versus price. We have the best machines versus price. We have the best people working here, and all this together is like when you're putting together an A team.
Yeah.
Yeah. But in a factory, a big factory, you have people working there. So the best people that cuts records doesn't work on a factory. They work at their own cutting studios, and that's well known. So if you want to have the best records, you need to contact the A team, and that's us. And there are several others as well. But if you go only for price, then you will get another result, and not that as good as what we are doing.
And you've been very generous with the time, and I know that we have to wrap it up. Something that I ask everyone that comes on is if you could recommend a song, an artist, an LP that either you could always listen to and it just brings you back to an amazing place, or something that you're listening to right now that might be new that you really like. Was there a record that you could throw on for me in a moment when we're done this that you're like, this is awesome?
Yeah. First of all, I want to say Oh Mercy with Bob Dylan, because I really like that record and I can recommend it to everyone. And now we have just pressed a record for a Norwegian girl that is called Ea Otilia, and she is great. So I would recommend people to listen to that. We are also pressed Aurora. If you haven't heard Aurora, check her out.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Sigve, thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and all the best.
Thank you for having me.